Have you ever felt like a mere footnote in someone else's story? Perhaps you've worked tirelessly to spark someone's interest, preserve a fading relationship, or transform rejection into acceptance. Yet, despite all your efforts, you find yourself sitting on the sidelines, waiting for scraps of attention or affection. Why does this happen? Why do they see you as just an option, rather than the essential character in their lives? It's a painful realization, isn't it? To feel invisible or undervalued can chip away at your self-esteem and make you question your worth. But let's pause here for a moment. What if the issue isn't entirely about them, but also about how you're presenting yourself in the grand narrative of your life? What if you're waiting to be chosen when you should be stepping forward to choose yourself? Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control how others see us, but we can control how we see ourselves and how we act in response. Through the lens of Stoicism, we'll uncover 10 profound reasons why you might be viewed as just an option, and more importantly, how to change that perception. By the end of this journey, you won't just understand why this happens, you'll learn to transform your story entirely. And let me tell you a secret, the most powerful change lies at the very end. Stay with me as we take this empowering journey together. Let's dive into the first reason. 1. Start with self-reflection and adjustment. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I keep ending up in the background of other people's lives? It's a tough question, but a necessary one. Often, when we're seen as just an option, it's because we've unknowingly allowed others to set the terms of how they treat us. The first step to change is self-reflection, taking a long, honest look at your actions, your choices, and your patterns. Are you directing your life, or are you passively floating wherever others take you? Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." Self-reflection is not an easy task. It requires brutal honesty. Ask yourself, am I overly available, making it convenient for others to take me for granted? Do I say yes to everything, even when it's against my better judgment? Have I failed to set boundaries that protect my time, energy, and emotions? If the answers sting, that's okay. Growth often begins with discomfort, but reflection without action is futile. Once you've identified the patterns holding you back, it's time to adjust. For instance, if you're always the one initiating plans, try stepping back and seeing who reaches out. If you're constantly bending over backward to accommodate others, begin saying no when it compromises your well-being. Adjustment doesn't mean you're changing who you are at your core. It means aligning your actions with the respect you deserve. When you prioritize yourself, you send a powerful signal to others. I am not just an option. I am a priority. But what happens if your efforts to adjust don't immediately change how others treat you? That's where Stoicism offers wisdom. Marcus Aurelius reminds us you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Self-reflection and adjustment aren't about fixing yourself to fit someone else's mold. They're about breaking free from the molds others may have placed on you. When you truly know your worth, others will start to notice. And if they don't, you'll find peace in the knowledge that their opinions no longer define you. Now that you've begun to reclaim your narrative through self-reflection, let's explore the next step, asserting your worth and taking control of your story. Because the truth is, no one will see you as a priority until you see yourself as one. 2. Reclaim your story. Assert your worth. Have you ever asked yourself who's writing the script of your life? Are you the director confidently shaping each scene, or are you standing in the wings, hoping someone will notice your potential? One of the most powerful reasons you might be seen as just an option is that you've allowed others to take the lead in your story. It's time to reclaim that pen and write your narrative with bold strokes. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can always control how we perceive ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So what kind of thoughts dominate your mind? Do you see yourself as someone who deserves attention, love, and respect, or as someone who must earn it by proving their worth to others? This distinction is critical because the way you view yourself shapes how others view you. Imagine this. If you treat yourself as a supporting character, always waiting for validation, others will follow suit. But when you assert your value, you set a new standard. You're no longer the backup plan, you're the plan. How do you begin asserting your worth? Start each day by setting intentions that reflect the life you want to lead. For instance, today I will be confident in my decisions. I am deserving of love and respect in every interaction. I will not allow others to diminish my value. These affirmations are not empty words, they're a declaration of who you are and what you stand for. When you begin your day with purpose, you carry yourself differently. You'll walk into a room not seeking validation but radiating self-assurance. People notice this energy, it's magnetic. But asserting your worth goes beyond affirmations. It's about action. Are you prioritizing yourself in your daily life? Are you pursuing your goals, hobbies, and passions, or are you constantly sacrificing them for others? When you invest in your growth and happiness, you demonstrate that your time and energy are valuable. This shift doesn't just change how others see you, it transforms how you see yourself. Still, asserting your worth doesn't mean being arrogant or dismissive. It's about embodying quiet confidence, the kind that speaks volumes without needing to shout. You don't need to demand attention, you simply attract it by living authentically and unapologetically. As you begin to reclaim your story, reflect on this. What's one way you can prioritize yourself today? Maybe it's saying no to something that drains your energy or carving out time for a passion you've neglected. Whatever it is, take that first step. Remember, every great story begins with a single sentence. And now, I want to hear from you. What's one area of your life where you've struggled to assert your worth? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a space where we can support and inspire one another on this journey of self-discovery. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video. It's a small action, but it signals that you're ready to reclaim your story. And don't forget to comment your intentions or affirmations for the day. Your words might just inspire someone else to start writing their narrative too. Up next, we'll explore how the people in your life shape your self-perception and what it means to strengthen your social circle. Stay with me, because this next step is where transformation truly begins. 3. Strengthen your social circle. Look around at the people who surround you. Who are they? How do they treat you? More importantly, how do they make you feel about yourself? If you've ever wondered why others see you as just an option, the answer might lie in the company you keep. The relationships we nurture have an undeniable influence on how we view ourselves and how the world views us in return. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The company you keep is a reflection of your character." When you consistently keep people in your life who undervalue or undermine you, it sends a message to yourself and to others that this is what you believe you deserve. Over time, this perception can become self-fulfilling. But here's the truth. You deserve relationships that honor your value, celebrate your victories, and challenge you to be your best self. How do you begin strengthening your social circle? It starts with a hard but necessary step: reassessment. Look closely at the relationships you invest in and ask yourself, do these people make me feel seen and respected, or do they take me for granted? Do they encourage me to grow, or do they hold me back with negativity or indifference? When I need support, are they there for me, or do they disappear until they need something? If these questions reveal toxic or one-sided dynamics, it might be time to reconsider how much access these individuals have to your life. Letting go of unproductive relationships is not about bitterness or blame. It's about creating space for connections that uplift and inspire you. But strengthening your circle isn't just about pruning, it's also about planting new seeds. Seek out people who share your values, interests, and aspirations. Join communities that align with your passions, whether it's a book club, a fitness group, or a professional network. These are the people who will challenge and motivate you in ways that deepen your sense of self-worth. Remember, quality always matters more than quantity. Even a handful of meaningful relationships can profoundly impact your life. The goal isn't to surround yourself with people who constantly praise you, but to cultivate relationships rooted in mutual respect, trust, and growth. As you begin this process, you may notice a subtle but powerful shift. When you're surrounded by individuals who recognize your worth, you start to see it more clearly yourself. And as your confidence grows, others will begin to notice and respond in kind. Over time, you'll stop being seen as just an option and start being valued as an indispensable presence. Reflect on this. What kind of people do you want in the front row of your life? The answer to that question will guide you as you strengthen your circle and reshape how others perceive you. And with a stronger foundation of relationships, you'll be ready to move forward with even greater clarity and purpose. Next, we'll dive into a key aspect of how others perceive you: your competence. Because to truly step out of the shadows, you must let your abilities shine. Stay tuned. 4. Showcase competence. What do people see when they look at you? Are you recognized for your skills, contributions, and unique abilities, or do you quietly blend into the background, hoping your efforts will speak for themselves? If you're often seen as just an option, it might be because you've been hiding your competence, or, more likely, you haven't been showcasing it effectively. Seneca, a wise Stoic philosopher, reminds us, no man was ever wise by chance. Consider this. If your life were a stage, how often do you step into the spotlight? Too often we downplay our talents out of fear of appearing boastful or overconfident. But showcasing your competence isn't about arrogance, it's about letting your light shine so brightly that others can't help but take notice. Start by identifying your strengths. What are you naturally good at? What have you worked hard to master? These could be technical skills, creative talents, or even personal qualities like empathy or strategic thinking. Once you've identified these, ask yourself, how can I demonstrate these strengths more clearly in my daily life? Here are a few ways to begin showcasing your competence. Speak up. Take initiative. Celebrate your achievements. But competence isn't just about what you say, it's also about what you do. Reliability is one of the most underrated aspects of competence. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, people begin to trust and respect you on a deeper level. They know that when you say you'll do something, you'll deliver. And that's a powerful way to elevate how others perceive you. Imagine this. You're in a professional setting, and a complex problem arises. Instead of shrinking back, you step forward with a solution. Your idea isn't just practical, it's thoughtful and well communicated. Heads nod, eyes light up, and suddenly you're not just another person in the room, you're the person everyone looks to for insight. Competence also extends to how you handle challenges. Mistakes and setbacks are inevitable, but how you respond to them speaks volumes about your character. Do you take ownership of your errors and learn from them, or do you deflect blame and shy away from accountability? The former demonstrates growth and resilience, while the latter diminishes trust. Now, think about the moments in your life where you've held back. What stopped you from sharing your talents or stepping into leadership? Was it fear of judgment? A belief that your efforts would go unnoticed? These are natural hesitations, but they're also barriers to being seen and valued. To overcome them, remember this key principle from Stoicism: what matters is not what others think of you, but what you think of yourself. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." As you begin to showcase your abilities, you'll notice something remarkable. People will start turning to you, not as an option, but as a trusted source of insight, reliability, and leadership. Competence, when consistently demonstrated, has a magnetic quality. It draws respect and admiration, leaving no room for ambiguity about your value. With your talents and contributions now in the spotlight, it's time to focus on a quality that makes your competence even more impactful: gratitude. How you acknowledge and appreciate others can elevate you in ways that go beyond skills and abilities. Let's explore this next. 5. Express gratitude. When was the last time you genuinely expressed gratitude to someone who impacted your life? Gratitude might seem like a simple courtesy, but in reality, it's a powerful tool that can transform relationships and how others perceive you. If you've ever felt overlooked or treated as just an option, embracing gratitude can shift the dynamic entirely. Cicero, a revered Roman thinker, called gratitude the greatest of virtues and the parent of all others. Imagine a friend or colleague goes out of their way to help you, and you simply nod and say thanks. It's polite, but does it fully convey your appreciation? Now imagine looking them in the eye and saying, "Thank you. I truly appreciate the effort you put into this. It means a lot to me." Which response do you think deepens the relationship? The second, of course, because it acknowledges their effort on a personal level. But gratitude isn't just about words, it's about action. How can you take it a step further? Here are a few ways to practice meaningful gratitude. Acknowledge efforts publicly. Reciprocate thoughtfully. Be creative. Gratitude is not about grand gestures, it's about sincerity. The key is to make the other person feel seen and valued. When people feel appreciated by you, they begin to see you in a different light. You're no longer just an option in their lives, you become someone they cherish and respect. But what if gratitude isn't reciprocated? Should you stop expressing it? Absolutely not. Stoicism teaches us that gratitude is as much for your growth as it is for others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us kindness is invincible, provided it is sincere. Take a moment now to reflect. Who in your life deserves your gratitude? It could be a mentor who guided you, a friend who stood by you, or even a stranger who made your day a little brighter. Why not make it a goal today to reach out and thank them? The impact might surprise you not just on them, but on how you feel about yourself. I'd love to hear about your experiences with gratitude. Has expressing thanks ever changed the course of a relationship for you? Share your story in the comments below. It could inspire someone else to embrace gratitude in their life. And if you find this discussion meaningful, take a moment to like this video. Up next, we'll explore something that might seem counterintuitive but is deeply transformative: the power of vulnerability. It's a step that will take you from being seen as an option to being seen as someone unforgettable. Stay tuned. 6. Embrace vulnerability. What does it mean to truly connect with someone? Is it through flawless presentation, endless accomplishments, or maintaining an unshakable front? Or is it through something far more profound, your willingness to be seen for who you truly are, imperfections and all? If you feel like you're just an option in someone's life, it might be because you've been hiding behind a facade, afraid to let your authentic self shine through. Vulnerability often gets a bad reputation. It's frequently misunderstood as weakness or exposure, but in reality, it is a profound strength. Seneca reminds us, "He who is brave is free." Bravery, in this context, isn't about charging into battle. It's about having the courage to reveal your true self, fears and all. This bravery is liberating because it creates space for genuine connections, relationships built on trust and authenticity, rather than surface-level interactions. Imagine sitting with a friend or partner and admitting something deeply personal, a fear you've been harboring, a challenge you're currently facing, or even a dream you're afraid to pursue. What happens in that moment? Do they recoil, or do they lean in, perhaps even sharing something vulnerable in return? Chances are the latter. Vulnerability invites reciprocity. It's an offering of humanity that encourages others to show theirs too. But embracing vulnerability is not without risk. There's always the possibility that someone may misuse the openness you offer. Stoicism, however, teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions and intentions. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. If your vulnerability comes from a place of integrity, it doesn't matter how others respond. What matters is that you've been authentic to yourself. Vulnerability also builds emotional resilience. Each time you let down your guard, you discover that being open doesn't shatter you, it strengthens you. You learn that your worth is not tied to others' approval, but to your ability to remain true to yourself. Over time, this resilience shapes how others see you, not as someone fragile or uncertain, but as someone deeply human and courageously authentic. How can you begin to embrace vulnerability? Start small. Share a personal story with someone you trust. Open up about something that's been on your mind, even if it feels uncomfortable. Notice how it changes the dynamic of your relationship. Vulnerability doesn't have to mean baring your soul to everyone. It's about selectively letting people into your world in ways that foster connection. Vulnerability is also about balance. While being open is powerful, it's equally important to ensure that you're sharing with people who've earned your trust. Stoicism reminds us that not everyone will understand or value what you offer, and that's okay. Vulnerability is not about seeking validation, it's about creating space for authenticity where it matters most. And think about the last time someone shared something vulnerable with you. Did it make you think less of them, or did it draw you closer? Chances are it was the latter. Now imagine how others might feel when you allow them to see the real you. In these moments of courage, you transform from being an option to being someone they deeply respect and cherish. With vulnerability as your foundation, you're ready to take the next step, channeling your authenticity into meaningful action. The next part of our journey explores how to lead with purpose by initiating projects that reflect your values and strengths. Let's continue. 7. Initiate meaningful projects. What does it mean to truly stand out? Is it about waiting for the perfect moment to shine, or is it about taking initiative and creating opportunities that reflect your passions and values? If you're tired of being seen as just an option, it's time to step forward and take ownership of your narrative by initiating meaningful projects. Lao Tzu once said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." This timeless wisdom reminds us that greatness is often born from the courage to act. Initiating a project doesn't require grand resources or a perfect plan. It starts with identifying a need, a passion, or a vision and taking that first step to bring it to life. Think about the spaces where you feel undervalued. Are there opportunities in those areas to lead, contribute, or create something new? For example, in your workplace, is there a process that could be improved or a project waiting for someone to champion it? In your community, is there an unmet need you could address, like organizing a local event or supporting a charitable cause? These are the moments where initiative transforms perception. When you take the lead, you shift the dynamic. Instead of being someone waiting for direction, you become the person others look to for guidance and inspiration. Leadership isn't about authority or titles. It's about having the vision to see what could be and the courage to act on it. By initiating meaningful projects, you send a powerful message. You're not just a bystander in life, you're an architect of change. Initiating projects also demonstrates competence and reliability, qualities that naturally elevate how others perceive you. When people see you tackling challenges, organizing efforts, or creating something impactful, they begin to associate you with action and value. You're no longer just part of the crowd, you're someone who makes things happen. But meaningful projects don't only benefit others, they also enrich your own sense of purpose. Stoicism teaches us that fulfillment comes not from fleeting pleasures, but from contributing to something greater than ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Every project you undertake, no matter how small, adds meaning to your life and leaves an imprint that can inspire others. If the idea of starting something feels overwhelming, remember that perfection is not the goal, progress is. Start by identifying a project that aligns with your values and strengths. Break it down into manageable steps and focus on making consistent progress. Whether it's improving a system at work, planning a community initiative, or even starting a personal passion project, each step you take reinforces your value and commitment. Importantly, don't shy away from collaboration. Great projects often bring people together. By involving others, you not only amplify the impact of your efforts, but also strengthen your connections. Leadership isn't about doing everything alone, it's about inspiring and empowering others to join you. As you initiate and lead, you'll notice a profound change. People will begin to see you differently, not as someone waiting in the wings, but as a driving force. This transformation isn't about ego, it's about authenticity and purpose. When you act in alignment with your values, others can't help but take notice. With your actions now creating ripples of change, the next step in our journey is to maintain balance. Because as you pour energy into your projects and relationships, it's vital to ensure that your life remains harmonious and sustainable. Let's explore the art of balance next. 8. Maintain a balanced lifestyle. Have you ever felt like you're juggling too many priorities only to drop the ones that matter most to you? Maintaining a balanced lifestyle isn't just about managing your time. It's about valuing yourself enough to keep your life in harmony. When you neglect balance, you send an unspoken signal to others that it's acceptable to undervalue your needs. Conversely, a balanced life demands respect, not just from others, but from yourself. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Keep the balance true." Imagine this. You're constantly overworking, saying yes to every request, and putting your well-being on hold. What happens? Burnout, frustration, a sense of invisibility, as others come to expect your sacrifices without acknowledging their impact. Now, imagine a different scenario, one where you set boundaries, honor your needs, and actively create space for rest, relationships, and personal growth. Which version of yourself would command more respect? Maintaining balance begins with clear boundaries. Ask yourself, do I know when to stop working and start resting? Am I dedicating enough time to my relationships and passions? Do I give myself permission to recharge without guilt? Creating balance doesn't mean neglecting responsibilities, it means approaching them with intention. For example, if you're working on an important project, allocate focused time to it. But once that time is up, step away and dedicate energy to another area of your life, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or simply relaxing. This rhythm of focus and release allows you to stay productive without feeling drained. Balance also involves prioritizing self-care. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of caring for the body and mind as tools for virtuous living. Marcus Aurelius observed, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Strength comes from ensuring that your physical and mental well-being are not sidelined in the pursuit of external achievements. Think about how others perceive someone who lives a balanced life. They see someone who is composed, reliable, and self-assured. They see someone who values themselves enough to nurture all aspects of their existence. This kind of balance is magnetic. It attracts respect and admiration, shifting you from being an option to being a priority. Now, reflect on your current life. Where are you out of balance? Maybe you're pouring too much energy into work while neglecting relationships. Or perhaps you're so focused on helping others that you've forgotten to care for yourself. Identifying these imbalances is the first step toward realignment. As you work to maintain balance, let's turn this reflection into action. What's one step you can take today to create more harmony in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might resonate with someone else, inspiring them to seek balance too. And if this message strikes a chord, show your support by liking this video, because together we're building a community dedicated to growth, reflection, and self-respect. Up next, we'll dive into an essential practice that ensures you're constantly moving forward. Reflection and adjustment. It's the compass that keeps your life on course, and it's where true transformation begins. Stay tuned. 9. Reflect and adjust. How often do you pause to take stock of your life? To assess where you've been, where you are, and where you're headed. Reflection and adjustment are not just exercises in self-awareness. They're vital tools for ensuring that you're not drifting aimlessly. If you feel like others see you as just an option, it might be because you haven't taken the time to evaluate whether your actions and choices are leading you toward your desired destination. Seneca wisely wrote, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." Without clarity on what you truly want and who you want to be, it's easy to find yourself swept along by the currents of others' expectations. Reflection provides the clarity to recognize these patterns, while adjustment gives you the agency to change them. Start by setting aside time for honest self-assessment. This can be as simple as a quiet moment at the end of each day or a dedicated reflection period each week. Ask yourself, what went well today and what didn't? Did my actions align with my values and goals? Was I truly present in my interactions, or did I let distractions take over? These questions are not about judging yourself harshly, but about understanding your patterns. For example, if you notice that you often avoid speaking up in meetings or neglect time for self-care, These patterns might be contributing to how others perceive you. Reflection allows you to see these trends clearly and gives you the opportunity to address them. Adjustment, then, is where change begins. It's not about overhauling your life overnight, but making small, intentional shifts that align with your priorities. Let's say you realize that you've been overly accommodating in a particular relationship. An adjustment could be setting clearer boundaries or expressing your needs more openly. Or perhaps you've been overcommitting at work, leaving little time for personal growth. In that case, the adjustment might be learning to say no to non-essential tasks. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and clinging rigidly to one path often leads to frustration. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change. To thrive, you must be willing to pivot when necessary, whether it's shifting your approach in a relationship, reassessing your career goals, or finding new ways to manage your time and energy." Reflection and adjustment also help you maintain a sense of progress. It's easy to feel stagnant or unseen when you're simply going through the motions. But when you actively reflect and make adjustments, you reclaim control over your trajectory. Each small change brings you closer to becoming the person you want to be and living the life you envision. Think of your life as a ship navigating the open seas. Reflection is your compass, showing you where you are and whether you're on course. Adjustment is your rudder, allowing you to steer toward your desired destination. Without these tools, you risk drifting aimlessly at the mercy of external forces. By building a habit of reflection and adjustment, you not only stay aligned with your goals, but also cultivate a sense of purpose that others can't help but notice. Over time, this intentionality transforms how people see you, from someone who simply reacts to life's circumstances to someone who takes charge of their destiny. With this foundation of awareness and adaptability, you're ready to embrace the final step in your journey, committing to continual self-improvement. This is where transformation becomes a way of life, and it's the key to ensuring that you're never seen as just an option again. Let's explore this next. 10. Commit to continual self-improvement. What does it mean to grow, to truly evolve? If you've ever felt stuck in the role of just an option, it's time to embrace the most powerful shift of all. Committing to continual self-improvement. Growth is not a destination, it's a journey, and every step forward is a step away from being overlooked. Aristotle famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This statement captures the essence of self-improvement. It's not about dramatic, one-time changes, but about small, consistent efforts that compound over time. By striving to be just a little better today than you were yesterday, you gradually transform not only yourself, but also how others perceive you. Self-improvement begins with self-awareness. Reflect on the areas of your life where you feel most stagnant or dissatisfied. Is it your career, your relationships, your physical health, or emotional resilience? Identifying these areas allows you to set clear, actionable goals. For example, if you feel overlooked at work, focus on building new skills or taking on projects that showcase your strengths. If your relationships feel shallow, work on improving communication or deepening connections with those who matter most. If you feel physically or mentally drained, prioritize habits that restore your energy, like exercise, mindfulness, or better sleep. Once you've identified your goals, break them down into manageable steps. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of consistent effort. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Do every act of your life as if it were your last." But self-improvement isn't just about achieving external milestones. It's also about cultivating inner virtues like patience, resilience, and humility. Stoicism teaches us that true growth comes from within. When you focus on becoming a person of integrity and wisdom, the rest naturally follows. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Am I treating others with kindness and respect? Am I showing up for myself with the same dedication I show to others? A powerful way to fuel your self-improvement journey is through learning. Read books, attend workshops, seek mentorship, and explore new perspectives. Knowledge expands your horizons and equips you with tools to navigate life's challenges more effectively. As you grow, you become someone others look to for insight and inspiration. Growth also involves embracing discomfort. Change is rarely easy, and the path to self-improvement is often marked by setbacks and challenges. Stoicism reminds us to view these obstacles not as roadblocks but as opportunities for growth. Epictetus taught, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. Every struggle you face is a chance to build resilience, learn, and emerge stronger. As you commit to continual self-improvement, you'll notice a profound shift in how others perceive you. People are drawn to those who are actively growing and striving. Your dedication to bettering yourself sets you apart as someone with depth, drive, and purpose. You stop being seen as an option because you become indispensable, not by seeking validation but by embodying excellence. Reflect on this. What's one small change you can make today that aligns with your goals? Remember, growth doesn't require perfection, just consistent, intentional effort. By committing to this journey, you're not only improving your life but also setting an example for those around you. With this final step, you've unlocked the tools to transform how you're perceived and, more importantly, how you perceive yourself. The journey doesn't end here. It's a lifelong commitment to living with purpose, integrity, and resilience. You've now explored the 10 reasons why you might feel like just an option and, more importantly, how to change that narrative. From self-reflection and asserting your worth to cultivating charisma and committing to continual growth, each step brings you closer to living as the remarkable, indispensable individual you are. Now it's time to act. What resonated with you most? Which step are you ready to implement in your life today? Share your thoughts and goals in the comments below. Your journey can inspire others to start their own. If this discussion has brought clarity or motivation to your life, don't forget to like this video. It's a small action with a big impact, helping us build a community of like-minded individuals dedicated to self-improvement and resilience. And if you're ready for more content like this, subscribe to stay connected as we continue exploring Stoicism and practical wisdom for everyday life. Thank you for spending this time reflecting and growing with me. Remember, you are not just an option, you are a priority, and it's time to live like one. Keep striving, keep growing, and may each day bring you closer to your best self. Stay strong, stay intentional, and let your journey inspire others.